Well, good morning. And what another beautiful morning it is. Have a light jacket on. January the 10th, 2026. This crew showed up day before yesterday on the other side of the road, and I didn't know what was going on. Traffic was being blocked. In the distance, and eventually they showed up, and as they would talk to some of the guys, they're right at a 500-mile stay or stretch that they've done, and to be able to witness, document the extra cleanup that's taking place with them. They didn't work yesterday because it was a chance of rain. However, we were able to work all day yesterday up to the point about 3:30, 4 o'clock, planted seed, and then it started raining. So basically done with the parking area. I'll come on up that way a little closer, but just kind of a 360 view. This is kind of a stockpile, just wasn't able to get everything done. But to be able to do what we was able to do, and now to work with this crew, if you will. I've done one side and now they're doing the other. How much timing working together will beautify something almost on the same day. Because of rain, it separated us, and I would have been limited on what I could have done working on the bank with them working on the bank, if you get what I'm saying. This particular equipment here, he said used 1.3 million. This is probably about 500,000 if I had to guess. A very unique. This is kind of a common machine. However, it has been retrofitted to do the task that they do, or it does. But just to take the time to get the fallen debris, I don't know if you can see. The concept, the pattern, if you will, how this one retrieves it. It'll even cut down and handle, retrieve, and stockpile or gather. Was involved in a cleanup crew kind of like this after Katrina, but the equipment has got so much better. There's some major trees that he's fixing to get a major one here now. See, you turn the head sideways, and it's got a saw on it as well. I mean, I'm standing in mud basically. You can zoom in to get a better look. I'm not going to try to go back and forth. I may forget. But this one tree is probably 70 feet tall. It's shaking. He bumped it and it's shaking, which if it would fall, it would go close to the distance I am from it. I will have to give this guy some room because he's got a lot going on in his hands. again, all these functions are worked with their hands, but there's a side conveyor chain that feeds the chipper. Once he stockpiles it all and gets as much as he can in one group, and when one lays it evenly, it makes it so much easier for the other guy. So there's a horizontal chain, vertical chain. Well, we missed him take this big tree down, I'm sorry. We'll try to get the next one. Again, there's so much going on. Much like my life, it's hard to keep up with it. This guy's having to control all these functions in his hand with this discharge, the feeding. He cradles it in its cradle. Well, that's just for road use. He's just gonna move down a little bit more. Just the minor, the little stuff that he can get. Here we go. I didn't realize you took just the top out a while ago. Isn't that cool? How much more he said this thing here had a microwave in it up in the cab with him. I should have asked to see that. May do that later. Again, trying to keep my distance. They've got flagmen on each end, flagmen in the middle, guys on chainsaw, guys of weed eaters standing ready to go. When he cuts these big trees, it's a lot of chips that come from it. So as I walk in the mud, again, I put out a full bag of ryegrass seed, and we got a lot of rain, so hopefully I didn't get to cover it, but the rain will kind of pack it in itself or cover it. You couldn't even see this highway from the street, from the building view when started just a little over 2 weeks ago. Taking the fence down was some of the first step. I wish you could just get everything, but they're limited on what they can get. But he has to methodically, I'll use that word methodically, and give him some distance. Your tax dollar at work, making the roads safe, the power lines safe. From all the drought 2 or 3 years ago caused a lot of tree death, which are fallen hazards. More on Iran. Since I posted last time, they went in Venezuela and captured that guy, name starts with an M. See how he kind of picks and then makes one last gather or stockpiles? But it breaks. It's so aggravating when the stuff breaks. But the other piece of equipment can come by and clean it up even more. See the extra reach? This is an 80-foot right-of-way. They can only handle about 70 with this equipment. That's one tree for the most part that he's done. I'm gonna get out of his way in case he needs to cut any more. While I give them just a little room, I'd like to document this building. For the longest, this building did not fit this scenario, this picture. This is old bridge framing structure. Your overhead bridges, or years ago, we had overhead bridges for the strength. The strength would have been in the upper part a lot of the times. This being the old maintenance barn for Hinds County District 5, where they would have run all of their maintenance out of here. Stockpiling gravel, culverts, however you say that. It's gonna get loud when he cranks this machine here up even more. But on this bridge, or these posts, it's a 1916 built by Virginian Bridge and Iron Company, Roanoke, Virginia, to end up here in Mississippi. Reclaimed, repurposed, and they made a shed. I don't know why they didn't make it taller. If they would have just, they may have been limited on the iron when they cut it up to be able to handle it, to get it in to bring it back. There's a group right there of 4 major trees. How in just a small amount of time, with designated equipment, I say that word, designed equipment, specialized equipment, so he feeds it in. He has to hold it for a certain length of time, and then it just takes care of itself. The amount of logs in that one pile, and even up here, the sawdust will be very heavy. I mean, it's even blowing. He must have got away from her. The wind's blowing and the road's almost covered. Today being Saturday, January 10th. Yesterday I thought was Saturday most of the day. I get around 15 minutes. I'm gonna pause this and do a part 2, just to, maybe I can get this uploaded at some point. They're having to discuss these 3 together. There's a chainsaw man that has to be ready, I guess, to handle anything that can get away from them. So he's brought his discharge where he can dispense it, if you will, distribute it